In 2000, a subtitled martial arts movie did the absolute impossible. It grossed over $200 million globally, scored 10 Oscar nominations, and altered Hollywood action forever. But behind the global phenomenon of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, lies a brutal, agonizing true story of severe injuries, extreme financial risk, and a tragic, forgotten author. First, the origin. The film isn't based on an ancient myth, but a massive 1938 serialized novel by Wang Dulu, part of his Crane Iron pentalogy. Wang didn't care about flashy fight moves. He pioneered the tragedy chivalry romance style. He used the martial arts world as a backdrop to examine how rigid social structures utterly crush human emotion, honor, and raw desire. Sadly, Wang survived wars and political turmoil, only to die in obscurity in 1977, decades before his masterwork conquered global pop culture. Decades later, acclaimed director Ang Lee risked his entire career to adapt it. Known for making subtle family dramas, Asian film executives literally laughed at his desire to make an action movie. Funding was nearly impossible to secure. Watch director Ang Lee reveal the intense creative process and production secrets behind the masterpiece in the story of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2000. The production quickly devolved into absolute hell. Ang Lee worked 15-hour days for 8 straight months without a single break, later calling it his midlife crisis wrapped in a boyhood fantasy. Superstar Michelle Yeoh completely tore her knee ligament during the very first week of shooting the iconic courtyard sequence. To keep going without stopping production, Lee had to shoot her from the waist up while she sat in a wheelbarrow, faking the arm movements of a sprint. Choreographer Yen Wu-ping used extra-thick manual wires to launch actors 80 feet in the air. A teenage Zhang Ziyi was regularly dropped face-first from massive cranes, depending entirely on human-controlled guide ropes to stop inches before crashing into solid rock. The title itself comes from a Chinese idiom warning you never to underestimate hidden talent. But it also represents the character's hidden, deeply repressed passions that finally erupted onto the silver screen. That is the true story of the masterpiece that bled for its art.